Hey, welcome to another video here on the channel, and for those of you that are new here, my name is Elliot. I'm a licensed real estate agent in Illinois and Wisconsin, and today's topic, when making an offer, what highest and best really means. So the first thing, as everyone knows and their mother knows, it's a seller's market. If you don't know what that means or why that is, the card is on the screen, the link in the description. And something I've noticed a lot of people are under the misunderstanding that it is a terrible time to buy a home. So second thing, false. See the card here I've linked for the video I recently uploaded on why right now is the time to buy a house. I've also linked it in the description. Third, I've been working with several clients asking what that means, and also prospects, aka future clients, asking what that looks like for them. And I thought I'd make a video educating everyone on what highest and best truly means. So yes, highest and best means exactly what you think it means. Give us your highest and best price along with your best offer. What many people don't realize is what best in highest and best truly represents. Not everything in real estate revolves around pricing. And yes, as much as sellers wish to make top dollar for the sale of their home, many sellers prefer better terms in exchange for a few $1,000s. To better explain this, I have to make up a random example. So let's say Michael wants to sell his house. After listing, he receives multiple offers and his agent tells the world, give us your highest and best offer by Sunday at 5 p.m. Jim and Dwight submits offers to Michael, and Jim's offer is slightly higher in price than Dwight's. However, Dwight can move in within 2 weeks while Jim, for whatever reason, needs 6. Michael contemplates which offer to accept, and he decides he wishes to accept Dwight's offer as it has a quicker timetable and outweighs the slightly higher price tag from Jim. Thus, Dwight's offer is what Michael's considers to be highest and best. Now, you might have noticed I have decided not to provide exact details of each person's offer and what the seller's needs were. And the reason I did that is because when you are in a position of either the buyer or the seller, there are a lot of question marks out there. Details of the other party in which we will not know the answers of. So to better increase your chances of winning bids when it comes to highest and best, here are some options which may give you the edge. So the first option is pretty self-explanatory when highest and best is asked for. It's price. Obviously, it should go without saying, the higher the price, the more attractive your offer is to the seller. If you decide to go this route, make sure you go over options with me and your lender. There may be issues or limitations on how much we can inflate the price in which we promise to the seller. This portion could be a whole video in itself. However, as this is an option played out on a case-by-case basis, please consult with the right people prior to taking action. Now, another option to give you a leg up is to tell the seller you'll purchase the property as is. This means you're willing to purchase the property in the condition that it is in. Now, for obvious reasons, in many states, you'll have the right to inspect the property before fully committing to the purchase. However, there are other repercussions to purchasing a home as is, from the condition of the home to legal aspects such as title disputes. Once again, it goes without saying, please make sure you consult with me, your agent, your attorney, your lender prior to submitting an offer with this clause. It would be such a shame to not explore all of your options and make such an irresponsible decision. So please make sure you consult with the right people. Now, moving on, a third option to have your offer win in a multiple offer scenario is to waive your right to an inspection. In most cases, it is in your best interest or the buyer's best interest to have a licensed inspector take a look at the property prior to purchasing. However, if you're comfortable enough to make a decision of waiving inspections, yeah, the more power to you. Once again, things can go horribly wrong within the short term or the long term within a property. You got mechanicals, appliances, exterior condition, interior condition, foundation, electrical, plumbing. So once again, make sure that you have that conversation with your team of experts and myself to fully understand the risks and the rewards when it comes to waiving the right to an inspection. Now, a fourth option, which is ironically somewhat of a common practice in a seller's market, is something known as an appraisal waiver or an appraisal gap clause. Now, every state, brokerage, agent, etc. may have their own different name for it. However, the gist of it is this. When financing a home, the lender will send out an appraiser to value the property, as the lender does not necessarily want to lend more to the buyer than what the home is worth. So to provide a round figure example, let's say Jim is selling his home for $200,000 and Jim's offer was slightly higher than Dwight's at $220,000. Modifying this example a bit, let's say Jim also threw in an appraisal waiver or an appraisal gap clause. This means Jim is telling Michael, if the appraiser says that the home is worth, less than $220,000 that I offered, I will pay you the difference out of my pocket. The reason why this may provide the buyer a slight edge over the competition is because the lender will only provide you a loan up to that appraised value. If the appraiser says that the listing agent was spot on with the listing price and the home appraised at exactly $200,000, Jim would have to pay the additional $20,000 out of his savings, out of his pocket, to Michael in order to purchase that house. Now, you may be surprised how many people may or may not have that extra capital to provide themselves the wiggle room for this option, thus making it our fourth option of beating the competition. Now, once again, make sure you consult with me and your team to make sure that you understand the risks, as this too is handled on a case-by-case basis. Now, my fifth option I will share with you, as I don't want to put all my tips and tricks online for my competitors to see, is to credit the seller at closing. This one isn't as common of a tactic. However, if you as the buyer believe that paying for some of the seller's brokerage fees or whatever costs that they have to incur in order to sell their home, go for it. Now, feel free to be as creative as you want to be. The more creative and flexible you are, the more your odds increase of landing that house. And a little bonus tip for you, actually, let's go with two since you made it this far into this video, is one, hire me as your real estate agent, because I have so many suggestions that have helped my clients not have to overpay for a home, go way above asking price, especially in a seller's market like this. And two, use multiple clauses to complement one another. An example would be to waive the inspection and buy the house as is. Now, once again, consult with the right people before making that decision. However, if you were to waive the inspection and buy the home as is, the only thing the seller would need to worry about is the financing portion of the transaction. The less the seller needs to stress, the higher your chances of calling this place home. So there you have it. You got 5 tips on what highest and best truly means. I hope you found this information useful, as I try to do my best to let you guys know exactly what goes on in a real estate transaction. Real estate has a bad rap. Everyone always says they have such a terrible time when it comes to buying a house. And I don't know why. It shouldn't be this hard when you've got the right people working for you. So if for whatever reason you guys decide to use any of these clauses in your transaction, please consult with the right people. Know exactly what you're doing and what the pros and cons of all of them are. If you found this video useful, please share, like, comment, tag people, do whatever you do, as it does help grow the channel. And I will see you on the next video.